It's always.
I love coming here.
I love every time you're here. It's always great to see you.
No.
Last time you were on the show, we talked about you have a celebrity doppelganger. If you remember this, we showed a photo, and I was like, "Who is it?" And you said it's Bill Hader, and there you are.
100%.
I kind of a little bit at those photos.
In the mouth and the nose.
You know,
like,
a little bit there. I see that.
Yeah, it's uncanny.
Yeah, and earlier this year, you finally had a chance to meet Bill Hader at the Golden Globes, and you got a photo with him.
Yes.
Here you are, the two doppelgangers together. Finally.
Yay!
How?
Oh my gosh.
Was he laughing?
I mean, it was crazy that we were like in the same room at the same time, you know, because people think we're the same person. But we,
of course,
we broke that.
Of course,
yeah. But he was. I told him that, you know, that I think that I look like him, and he was like, no. But
he's the
like,
best.
yeah, he's the best. It was like, I couldn't believe. I was very starstruck.
Then you told me you brought another photo. You said this was one of your other favorite photos that night. You and Jack Black.
Yes.
Now, you said this moment made your life?
It has made my life. So we have a group chat, my sister and all my girlfriends, and it's basically dedicated to how hot Jack Black is. Like, he is our perfect man. Like, beyond. Yeah. And like we send each other like clips of him all the time, and like specifically the saxophone clip.
Oh yeah.
Of like on the show.
Saxoboom.
It's iconic.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, but this was just, we were waiting for our cars at the valet at the same time, and my boyfriend was with me, and he's like, go up to him, and he convinced me to, and I did. And then my boyfriend yelled to him, he's like, you're her hall pass, by the way.
Did Jack love it?
Loved it.
Yeah, he loved it.
And he was with his wife, and like we were laughing. I mean, I was turning bright red. I like still am.
He's the best. He's a sexy dude, man.
Yes.
I love
so
Jack
funny,
Black
like,
so much.
Perfect.
Last time I think I saw you, I was out to dinner with you and your boyfriend.
Yes.
And you were about to start this Bob Dylan, this a complete unknown movie.
Right. Yeah.
I think the next day you were
going.
going
Yeah, and we were at Minetta Tavern, which is right across from Cafe Wha.
Yes, the whole area.
The lore, yeah, and because I had finished doing a Broadway show.
Yes.
That I was on here for, and then I was like, the next day I'm literally going into rehearsals like to start this film.
But now you're winning awards for that film that we were just out to dinner. I go, congratulations, by the way. It's so exciting.
Thank you.
Great reviews. You won Best Supporting Actress from the National Board of Review. That's how you do it. Seems like just yesterday we were doing that.
Thank you.
Congrats.
It does. I mean, it kind of was. It was a very quick turnaround for the film, because they obviously, I mean, the film was supposed to go, and it kept, you know, we had COVID and strikes, so like Timothée Chalamet, who plays Bob Dylan brilliantly in this film.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He does a fantastic job.
Yes, and he has been training for like 5 years for this part, so it's a long time coming, but...
Yeah. Well, what was it like to see? Because you've been friends with Timothée Chalamet for a long time.
I have. Yeah.
Is it fun to watch someone dive into the character that much and become Bob Dylan, like a legend?
It was. I know. I mean, we worked together when I was 19, so I have known him for a bit. But I remember like the first time seeing him on set, as dressed as Bob Dylan. Like, he walked out on stage and he performed A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, and then he gave us a full concert. It was like he did Masters of War, and I forget the other one he did.
And he does it real,
all
for real.
live, yeah, singing live, playing the instruments live, and it honestly like moved me. Like, I was just so proud of my friend and his kind of version of Dylan that he is in this film. It's really perfect. It's not a mimic or like a caricature of a person.
It's not somebody doing
No.
no, that's not, no. This is legit Bob Dylan.
No, it's legit. I mean,
and
he's
turns him
doing
into a person.
Voice, but
no,
you know, you have
great.
to. It's funny because I've never met Bob Dylan, but I thought I was going to. I was doing, so they sent me, like for rehearsals, they sent me the schedule of my rehearsals, and they sent me an email saying you're gonna have a rehearsal with James Mangold, who's the director of the film, and Bob Dylan. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is it, because I'm a huge Bob Dylan fan. I have been for a long time.
Yeah.
And I have to figure. I was calling people asking for advice on like what to ask him. I'm freaking out.
Yeah, how do you act around Bob Dylan?
Yeah, and so then I walked into the rehearsal room, and it was just James Mangold and Timmy, and I was like, what? I was like so let down. I was like, they put like Bob, looking back at the email, Bob Dylan was like in all caps in bold. So they were just calling like Timmy Bob Dylan. So I'm the only like girl in America to be let down by having
Timothée
a rehearsal with
Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet. I was like, it's you?
It's only Timothée Chalamet? Oh, gosh. That's hilarious.
Yes, but I know. Maybe one day.
He's the greatest. He's the nicest guy, too. Have you ever seen him perform live?
I have. Yeah, I went to the King's Theater in Brooklyn, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Timothy was there, too. It was right before we started filming, and I'd never seen him live before, but I went, I was there, and it was incredible, and then I started to, like, feel like, ooh, I'm gonna throw up. And
Because of the nerves?
No, I think it was just a bad turkey sandwich. I'm also not a New Yorker, so I'm like, I don't know the delis to go to, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. You can't just go in any random deli.
I think I did.
Oh,
yeah.
no. No, you have to learn that the hard way. Oh, no.
Yeah, so I had to run out, and, like, I threw up, like, I busted out of the
Ew,
theater.
what are you talking
threw
about?
up on the ground.
Not in the bathroom?
No, I didn't make it. Yeah, and so it threw up on the floor. You know, I mean, it happens, but and then Timothy comes out and he's like, are you drunk? I'm like, no, I'm not, like, wasted for the Bob Dylan concert. Like,
Dude,
yeah, and I'm like, no, I had a bad turkey sandwich, and they, like, put, like, a sad cone over my vomit, you know, like one of those yellow things. It was like, oh,
This has only happened to you. That's so
I
funny.
know, but it's memorable. But I have to go and see a full show.
Yeah. As a longtime fan, that's a perfect story. It should be that.
I think he would like it.
It should be that interesting.
Perhaps.
Yes, of course.
Good.
Is there anything new that you learned while you were watching the movie or filming the movie?
Gosh, I mean, there's so many things I learned. I mean, my character is Sylvie, and she's based on Suze Rotolo, which I didn't know much about Suze.
I know photos of her. I don't know much about her.
Exactly. Yeah, she is famous for being on the Freewheelin' album cover with Bob Dylan, and she was kind of his first girlfriend in love. And it was Bob himself who actually wanted her name to be changed from Suze to Sylvie out of kind of respect, because she's since passed. And so I think, just learning about her. I mean, she was very politically involved, like an activist in the 60s. And Bob wasn't actually so much into politics until he met her. And she really inspired him to sing his own songs and not just, you know, the old folk songs. So she's kind of instrumental in that, which was cool to learn.
The movie really works in that way. You're like, where is it going to go? And you go, oh, this is really cool where it's taking us. And
yeah, because it's only like 61 to 65, which is like, I mean, obviously Dylan, like, you know, has so many phases in his life, but this is such
like,
a
dude, he takes
important
a risk.
one. Exactly.
He takes a big risk.
Goes
Because I'm going to go electric. I'm going to play it, and it's like, no, you don't do that. You're folk.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't do that. And everyone around him's like, don't do it.
Yeah, I think that was also, like, inspiring, too, for, like, as an actor, or just, like, anyone in general. Like, what the movie is telling us is to, like, trust yourself, and, you know, you can change, you know, don't allow people to put you in a box.
Yeah.
So.
Good, love that.
So, yeah.
I want to show a clip. Here's Elle Fanning in A Complete Unknown. Take a look at this.
Wrote a 5-minute song about this girl in Minneapolis. Who was that? What happened? You tell me you dropped out of college.
I didn't drop out of college.
You came here with nothing but a guitar. You never talk about your family, your past, besides the carnival.
People make up their past, Sylvie. They remember what they want. They forget the rest.
I tell you everything. My folks, my sister, the street I grew up on.
Yeah, and I never asked you about any of it. Well, you think that stuff defines you?
What I come from? What I want and what I don't want? What I reject? Yes.
Wow. Elle Fanning, everyone. A Complete Unknown is in theaters everywhere. Christmas Day. Jack Houston joins us after the break. Stick around, everybody.
Hey, hey.